Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our second installment of Blood, Bone, and Blade, a Legend of the Five Rings story. My name is Will. I'll be your storyteller this evening, and tonight, I have the great honor and pleasure and distinction of welcoming a friend of mine from my college days, a phenomenal actor, a director, a current resident of St. Petersburg, which she felt it was relevant for me to say, a fellow weeb, and you can find her at Ray of Moonlight on Instagram. She's going to be joining us now for Legend of the Five Rings, her first time stepping foot outside of Dungeons and Dragons, and I am excited to welcome you, Ray, to our stream.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm excited too. Hello.
Yeah, so it's your first time playing Legend of the Five Rings. It's your first time using Roll20 like we were talking about. Is there anything that you want to give away to our audience about who Tamori Mori is, or what they are going to represent in this game?
Well, I'm hoping that Mori is our wild card in this game. That's what I'm hoping. I haven't met any of the other characters yet, so I'm excited to do that eventually, but I think Mori is going to be a nice little splash of chaoticness to this very traditional game.
Of course. And Legend of the Five Rings is steeped in, lore and understanding of the reverence for that lore, and sometimes you just gotta shake things up, and you've gotta be willing to just be like, hey, there's a lot of stuffy people over here. Let's bring in some music. Let's bring in some color, and I think that's what Tamori Mori is gonna do for us. So, if there's nothing,
I hope so.
Yeah, if there's nothing that you want to give away, let's go ahead and have you open up with you coming to. It is a cold morning in Shiromori Sato, which is the village of the White Forest, which is nestled in the Kuromorikawa region, which is the Black Forest River that feeds the Aoten Numa, which is the Blue Heaven Lake that is nestled between the Dragon, the Scorpion, and the Phoenix clan lands in the South Mountain Ranges of the area that you grew up in. You've been kind of relegated to this nowhere village as a magistrate, a kind of guard, a high functioning guard rather, because you are a samurai, whereas the actual magistrates in the city are ashigaru, which are just kind of like conscripted men. But the small city, the small kind of village, has recently become the center of talk as a Imperial family member is going to be wed here. Someone that can trace their lineage back to the village and has kind of, from the rumors that you've heard, spent their vacations here because they still have some of their family from where their peasant side of the family has kind of stayed and kept the roots here. They're bringing a big kind of train of people, and with them is going to come a lot of trade and a lot of kind of eyes and attention that Shiromori Sato has never had before.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Mori is not the kind of person that has the ambitions of being like a city, like a town magistrate, right? Like they're kind of happy just going with the flow.
They're very much happy going with the flow, but new people brings new opportunities and new adventures.
Yeah. The morning of your currently in waking up to this blanket of white that has fallen overnight. It's a little colder than you're used to. It does not bode well for the situation. But a lot of the Shugenja soothsayers have kind of mentioned that it was going to be a colder winter. But the Imperial train arrives today, and the Imperial family member and his betrothed, a beautiful crane woman, should be arriving today. But as you kind of muster in your bed and you stretch and you think about the day ahead of you, a memory of your Genpuku ceremony kind of comes to the foreground as you kind of sit up and look over at your daisho, your familial handed down kind of katana and wakizashi combo. I'm assuming that you have it kind of next to you when you sleep, or do you think that you're the kind of person that would put them in the corner of the room?
Oh, they're next to me.
Okay. Do you have a stand so that they're kind of standing up, or do you have a stand where they're kind of like laying horizontal?
Laying horizontally next to me.
Okay. So one of like the modern display kind of situations. So yeah, so you're looking at the swords, and you're looking at the kind of I forget the word for it, but you're a weeb like me, so you should know it. The little things that girls put on their phones in the animes.
Charm.
The charm. Is Mori somebody that, had they been given a charm, would they still have it on their swords, or would they have it somewhere else on their person?
They do have one charm, and it was a charm that their father gave them a long time ago. They have a beaded charm. It's a little black and red beaded charm, 3 beads in a row, and that was given to them when they were really small. And that is the only charm that they've ever received as a gift, or ever, really. So they hold on to that.
Do you think the three beads represent what was the 3 pillars of your family? You, your mom, and your dad? Okay.
Absolutely.
Such a long way away from what that represents at this day and age. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that eventually. So, your memory kind of washes to the forefront, and you're transported back to the days of either your ceremony, in particular the final day, as that is the most heavily intensive, attention to physicality. The first couple of days have gone by, and you've brought some honor and glory to your family. There was a calligraphy challenge that you surpassed with flying colors in, but there's also a poetry contest that you kind of began to ramble about whatever caught your eye. So it included a lot of the butterfly that you saw in the distance, and then, the flags that your eye suddenly caught, and things like that manner. The horses that I think you have a fear of from the way you were repulsed by horsemanship.
A little bit.
And so that began to ramble away. The tea ceremony also was not something that you were particularly strong in, so it was the first 2 days were not great, but they weren't terrible. And a lot of it, I think, is attributed, like, they kind of let you pass because you are such a rarity in the Dragonlands. Um, Once in a generation, maybe once in every 2 or 3 generations, is there somebody of your stature, of your kind of greatness, larger than lifeness. Um, and so the last day has you participating with the other 5 kind of children that are vying for uh, a seat at the clan champions table that evening. It is something that is a great honor and something that is supposed to be equivalent to kind of meeting your local hero. You know, uh, there are 2 girls and 3 boys that are competing with you. Um, Only one of them, one of the boys, has really shown any like desire to be greater than he is, and one of the girls is just kind of enamored with the idea of this giant being their friend. Um, and so she's made herself kind of like available at every opportunity to just kind of, you know, if you have a question, like, she's the first one to kind of come up with an answer, even if it's wrong. And she's always kind of like hovering around you. But this last day has a small kind of obstacle course to open the day with. Then there's a light lunch, and then, as always, there is the duel. You know, the duels to kind of show who is worthiest of becoming a samurai. Excuse me. So they lead all of you after breakfast on a light warm up, and then they take you to this fairground where everything has kind of been set up, and there's just this whole racetrack that you've never seen before in this village that you grew up in, that just kind of extends out past the fairgrounds and into the wheat fields, or the rice fields, sorry. And you can see that they've created hills, and they've created valleys and kind of water hazards and things like that to kind of really push you to your limits. And they show you where the starting line is. They walk you through the racetrack, and they show you where your finishing line is. And then they kind of set you on your line. The sky is overcast currently. It is gray, a light gray. There's a small hint of rumbling of thunder in the distance, barely audible. The wind is soft but almost constant, and there's just this smell of rain on the horizon. You can hear some of the morning birds, some of the animals in the village that do the day-to-day business, horses, mules, things like that. And you can just taste the electricity in the air of what this day represents. You know, like, this is a chance to prove that you can be more than what your father believes in you. That you can be someone worthy of this name that you've taken, this Tamori family name. And that you can be a representative of the Minamoto Academy, and someone to carry on the teachings of the Niten style of using your katana and your wakizashi at the same time, which is in contention with what the Crane believe, and the Kakita family, and their one strike, one kill kind of mentality. How are you feeling?
Pretty pumped.
Yeah.
Pretty pumped.
Do you think that you've talked? I can hear you.
What did I do? I did it. All right. I hit a button on this.
Okay.
Pretty pumped.
Stop touching buttons.
Excited. I know. Excited on the inside, and also kind of buzzing, because this is exactly what I was waiting for. A challenge. And even though there are some supporters and some enemies in this class, I know that I will win.
Yeah.
I mean, it will happen.
Yeah.
So,
the
regardless, I'm gonna...
Go ahead.
Yes.
The young boy kind of lines up to one side of you, and he sneers. He's like, "Get ready to eat my dust."
Mm-hmm.
And the girl,
how tall are you?
he's just broken 5 feet, 5'1".
I can't hear you. I'm so sorry. You gotta speak up, bud.
Yeah. The girl has lined up on the opposite side of you, and she kind of like just frightenedly pats your shoulder, and then immediately pulls her hand back away, like she's touched some painting or some statue that she wasn't supposed to touch, like the Mona Lisa, and she just goes, I have faith in you, Mori."
You scared me. Oh, hi. Thank you. That's so sweet. You know what? You're gonna do just fine. I thank you for being always helpful, and I'm not very good at talking, so you're good at listening to me. And then we're gonna do this. But I'll do it better. Not to say that you're gonna do it bad. You're gonna be fine, and we'll make it, and I'm gonna win. But I really think that you're cool. So I'm gonna pat you on the head. Thank you very much. But I need to focus, so please don't scare me again.
The second you pat her on the head, the judge hits the gong and everybody takes off.
Okay.
Except for
full stride.
Yeah, except for the girl that you patted on the head, who's just is having one of those anime moments where she's just enjoying the head pat. And the second you take off, she kind of like falls forward, and then picks herself up and starts running after you.
Sorry.
As you take off running, this is going to be your first actual roll of the game. So let's bring up the Roll20 chat. And go ahead and hit... make an athletics roll for me, and since you have no rank in it, it's going to be the untrained. So it's going to be the left hand. 6.
Yep.
Woo!
Yeah, okay, well.
This is a good start. This is a good start. So 15 for one of them. Oh my god. He's definitely in the lead. And yeah, 15 for the other one. So Tamori Nana, who is the girl that has been hovering around you, kind of is falling in step with you. Like, you know that she could be faster if she wanted to, but she's kind of like following your pace. The boy, Minamoto Hashigoro, has just kind of jetted into the lead.
Wow.
he has pushed the other girl, and he's kind of like almost tried to elbow check or like shoulder check the other boy, who seems to be like athletically inclined. But you see that almost without warning, and almost like with a sixth sense, the kid rolls around, and just lets himself kind of fall in behind him, but he doesn't get hit, and he just kind of avoids the impact altogether. Do you want to try to push ahead, or are you happy in your...
No, I'm gonna push ahead.
Oh, okay. All right, let's have another athletics roll.
Wow. This one better. Yeah! Okay, at least it's not 6.
Yeah. 16 is enough to get you right into third place right now. There's the first kind of water hazard has helped to equalize the playing field. The other girl misstepped and fell into the water. One of the boys...
Oh, Nana?
No, Nana's behind you.
Oh. Perfect.
Yeah, no, Nana is content being in last place.
Dope.
But yeah, one of the other boys that was athletically inclined has kind of leapt and made the distance, but kind of suffered in trying to keep his balance. So you are now currently the third, and behind the two boys, the Mirumoto Hashigoro, who is the big mouth, and then Togashi Inosuke, who is the wiry boy, who avoided his shoulder throw.
I like Inosuke. He's a good guy.
He tries to be.
But the other guy's going down.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that right now.
So let's make another roll as the first set of hills comes up.
Do it. First set of hill athletics still?
Yep. Still gonna be athletics.
Boom.
Ooh, that's not bad. It's not bad. 13 is not bad.
I know. Great.
17 for Hashigoro keeps him in the lead. And 18 from
Damn it.
Inosuke keeps him in the same position. So even with the kind of climb and switching gears, and dealing with these kind of mounds of dirt, you still find yourself right behind Inosuke, who is kind of turned back to see you keeping pace, and has a general nod and kind of a smile to you, and then kind of gives you a thumbs up.
Is it? He's looking back. You focus on the go that way.
And you see that as you kind of are telling him to focus on the race, there is a rock that is coming up that should easily like trip him. And as you kind of tell him to focus, and he kind of nods at you and gives you the thumbs up, with his other hand he just kind of lunges forward like he's falling, catches the rock, and then flips one-handed over and continues his pace, just kind of following Hashigoro.
Well, I mean, that was unnecessary completely, but I could do it if I wanted to. I could have done that, but it's really, I mean, I love him. I love the guy, but it's very showy offy.
Yeah.
It's a lot, so I just need to get past them.
All right, let's have you do one more. Yeah, I get you. Let's have you do one more athletics roll. Let's see if you can bring it home. Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
God, I fucking hope so.
Oh.
Hold up. Well, she don't. Well, Jesus, fuck.
No. An 8 as the second of the 3 water traps comes up on you by surprise. There's a moment where you just go straight down into this water that is supposed to be hindering for most of these guys.
Right.
But for you, since you're almost like a foot taller than everybody, the water just kind of comes up to the bottom of your chest. So you could wade through it. You could swim over to the other part of the shore. Up to you. But as you kind of pull yourself up on the other side, you see that Inosuke is kind of sitting there, like he's crouched down. He has his hand out to you on the other side of this water hazard. He is completely dry. Like he leapt over this water hazard in one go. Even Hashigoro has kind of like had the bottom of his feet soak because of just the sheer distance that this leap was, and he just couldn't clear it. But this one kid has just this kind of tousled set of hair, this burnt honey for eyes, and just the warmest smile. Just kind of is kneeling there, like wanting to help you up out of the water. And earnestly kind of wants to help you and get you back into the race.
Before I take his hand, again, how's Nana doing? She okay?
She is still in last place.
Okay, alright. But she doesn't need help crossing the river? Or the water?
She might when she gets to it.
Trap.
But that'll be
Right.
that'll be in some time. She's just getting to the hills.
Okay. I'll take Inosuke's hand and tell him. I'll tell him thanks.
Okay. He nods
Thanks.
and he
Thank
gives you.
Thanks.
He tells you a little kind of haiku that he just comes up with on the spot about patience and the tortoise and the hare, and then he just takes a deep breath and takes off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tortoise. Yeah. Hare. Got it.
Yeah. So there is a moment where you kind of sit there.
I'm worried about this. No, I'm just worried about this chick. I mean, if she needs help, I'm gonna shout back to her really quick. Hold up.
Okay.
If you need help, let me know.
She stops climbing and she just kind of like waves you forward and then gives you a thumbs up. And
nice.
as she does, okay, you see her kind of lose grip and she just slides down the hill.
That's what. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. She gave me. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. She thumbs up. She gave you the thumbs up.
Okay.
It's on her.
Yeah.
It's on her.
No, then we're good. Yeah.
It's on her.
Okay. We'll focus back on catching up to this sly, slick, very attractive for some reason motherfucker in front of me, and then I'll get the other guy in front of him. Okay.
So let's have you do another athletics check as you try to.
Yeah. But
okay.
let's actually have a good number. Well,
No.
okay. Well,
No.
and then. Okay.
So you see that easily at this point, the other Mirumoto has gotten to the last water hazard and just has one set of hills to go before the finish line. Inosuke has stopped at the water hazard and has kind of stepped back to get a running start. And as he sees you, he kind of nods and then just kind of takes 3 steps and leaps over this water hazard that is probably about 12 feet. And just clears it in one bound. And as he lands,
Perfect.
he kind of crouches down to kind of stretch out his muscles, and then you see him he looks back at you from the other side, and he's just like, "Shall I wait for you, or should I keep going?"
Tell him to go. You could go ahead. Yeah. This will be easy. Give me a second. I got it.
Okay. And without hesitation.
3 steps.
Without hesitation, he just turns and starts running after Hashigoro. And at this point, you see that he has a new fire in him. Like, he is running to try and catch up with this kid. How many?
Well, if it's gonna be anyone, I'm happy it's him at least.
How far back do you think that you're going to need to clear this 12-foot gap?
I'm going with the Inosuke method.
Okay.
I'm stepping back 3 steps. You step back 3 steps. He obviously knows what he's doing. He's calm, cool, collected. He's talking about haikus. He's coming up, you know?
Yep.
3 steps back.
All right.
Jump.
Give me that athletics check.
Right. I'll give it to you, okay?
Oh.
But just, okay!
Yeah.
We're out of single digits.
We are, yeah, boy. That's all we need. And sure enough, as you are going over in your head, like how impossible a 3-step run and jump for 12 feet is even remotely doable. Without hesitation, you count out the 3 steps out loud, and on 3, you push yourself with everything you have, and there is this elongated moment of just air rushing past you, the sound of the animals and the birds is kind of slowing down, and the vision of this piece of land rushing towards you, and the constant fear that you're gonna be short. This just terrible, terrifying miscalculation on your part that you're gonna fall in water and it's gonna be terrible, and you should have told them to wait. And no, your foot catches dry land. It is solid.
Yes.
And then your second foot lands and it catches dry land, and you are emboldened by this inertia and pushed forward into a gallop almost, as you try to catch up to these 2 other just not beacons of athleticism, but definitely when you are concerned, they are lighthouses for you. But again, Mori is built in other ways. There's not a lot of call for jumping water and climbing hills where they are from.
Right.
But as they come up to the last set of hills, let's do one last athletics check to see just if there's something cosmic and karmic about getting Mori across this finish line.
Focus, Mori. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be there, right on the other side, and you're gonna throw it into that guy's face.
11.
And that's fine.
As
we are what we are.
Yeah, as the hills do slow the other 2 down, and at this point now, Mori has used her size to her advantage and kind of found just leaping at handholds instead of relying on footholds has helped her kind of close the gap. But as all 3 of you kind of crest this hill and go into your last bit of impulse and dash forward, it is the Minamoto who comes in first. Inosuke comes in a close second, and you come in a very tight third, just on the heels of Inosuke.
I want to tell Inosuke, by the way, hey, just so you know, I would still get a medal. If we were being given out medals, I would get one. Yes, you'd get a different color and probably better, but we all got one. So don't think that you're better.
He nods.
Mm-hmm.
He nods at you, and he kind of smiles and he bends down, and you notice that the Mirumoto is out of breath. Like, he is on the floor. He is just kind of like trying to gather himself up, but Inosuke is just calm and serene. And he bends down, he picks up a wild flower, and he gives it to you, and he's like, "This is the only reward that matters."
You know, man, I don't know why. How are you so cool all the time? Like, I genuinely, because like, I'll take. Thank you for the flower. I appreciate it. I'm gonna put it in my hair. And wait, no, where's Nana? Hold on, again, where's she at? I look behind. Where the hell is she?
As you break the entrancement that this wild, calm and serene character has, and just shake him away from your thoughts, you turn around and you see Nana just trying as best as she can. She just takes the 3 steps and jumps and
you can do it.
Immediately lands in the water.
That's not what okay, you're fine.
Like, barely managed to jump 3 feet forward, and you see her just kind of struggling to swim. Just her head coming up every time that she can touch the bottom and push herself up. It's just big mouthfuls of just
Nana, thumbs up.
But it's
okay?
all diagonal movement as she tries to just sink, push up, get air, sink, push up, get air. And finally she comes up on the other end, and she's just gasping for air, but she's crawling towards the finish line, and there's a good like 30 minutes of her just crawling to the finish line, like not even like getting up to run anymore. Like, it's just hands and knees, an occasional burst of speed here and there, and when she gets to the 3rd water hazard, like, she just kind of skirts around it. Like, she doesn't even pretend to try to jump it. She just kind of skirts around it, and she just kind of hides her face in shame, but she's just like, I just want to get to the end, to the finish line.
I understand her 100%.
I know
want to
life.
I'm gonna save the flower from my hair and give it to her when she gets there, so that I can be cool and calm.
Yeah, she crosses the finish line, and she immediately just flips over onto her back like a turtle, and just starts panting and just gasping for air, and just kind of like, I did it, I made it.
I want to lean over her and like block the sun from her. Well, I know it's overcast, but still shadow, and just say, fuck, what did he say? All you needed to win is to win. And then I'm gonna drop the flower on her. I didn't mean to. It just fell. And then I do one of these.
That finger guns. Always do the finger guns. To her, it is a moment that will probably live in immortalized in her mind as something fantastic. But you know that there was nowhere near how cool it was when Inosuke did it to you.
No, and I do walk over to him and give him an elbow and say, thanks again.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't want to thank you anymore. Just from now on, have an open, thanks debt from me, and I will just expect me all the time to be thankful for you. But that other guy, not so much.
He leans in and he just kind of smiles at you. He's like, friendship is not a collection of debts, my friend. It is a release from them. And then he makes his way over to the to where they're serving lunch.
I run there as well. You know how I was exhausted, but then they mentioned lunch, and I know that sometimes they have those fish cakes that I like. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My energy
Yep.
picks up.
And they do. They have a collection
Yes!
of meat that they have. Some rice, of course, and some kind of roasted pomegranate cakes. But they do have the red bean paste kind of fish koi treats for dessert.
All I ever wanted was to win food.
Yeah, and you have won it.
Race who? I didn't even remember.
Yeah,
I won.
but for dessert they give
I
you
knew I would.
they give each of you one fish and one little ball of mochi. Everybody kind of eats, and there's just like a collective as everybody kind of sits at the same table. The Mirumoto is just kind of radiating this smugness as he kind of has solidified his victory. The only way for him to lose would be at the duels. And he just is of the mindset that there's nobody here that can unthrone him. But you
As
see,
I'm eating,
yeah,
I want to just put my giant hand on his tiny shoulder and give him a huge pat on the back and say, "Congratulations! Can't wait for the fight."
yeah,
And then just walk away.
yeah.
But I walk away a la Inosuke. So like this,
Well, you would imagine he would walk away like, yeah.
Right.
And sure
this.
enough, as you are just as you channel the best crab impression you have, and you start to walk away, just shoulders, elbows out, happy with yourself, Inosuke just kind of nods at you and gives you a single finger gun. And sure enough, as excuse me, after the end of lunch, they give you a small break, and then they announce the pairings for the first round. And it is Nana versus Inosuke, a Mirumoto Kohoji against you, and then the Kitsuki against Hashigoro. The Inosuke, what was it? Inosuke wins against Nana because she bows out.
Well, yep.
The Kitsuki allows Hashigoro to win because they bow out. And then between you and the other Mirumoto, you see that she kind of stands opposite of you and just takes her stance for this duel. Do you wish to duel? Or do you want to bow out? Oh, yeah. We're doing it.
Yeah. Doing it.
Okay.
Did you think I was going to say no?
For a moment there, yeah, I kind of thought you did. So, we're going to do the dueling, and this is going to be really interesting because looking at your character sheet, you are not built for dueling. But we're gonna see. Listen, you came in third. I have faith in you. You actually have a rank in Iaijutsu, so it's not like athletics. You're actually gonna roll a trained roll for this. So go ahead.
Hell yeah!
And make an Iaijutsu roll for me. And I will do
in
this
T?
In T, because you are trained.
Dun, dun, dun. Ay, coño! Okay.
10. Okay. So the way dueling works is that there's 3 rolls involved. So there's
Okay.
the first roll is just to kind of size up your opponent. You lost,
Cool.
so you don't get any information from them.
Yeah.
Because they rolled higher than you.
Mm-hmm.
But the next roll is what actually is going to set up the duel itself, the strike order. So,
Okay.
do you want to focus or do you want to strike? Since you lost, you have to go first. Oh, you're gonna strike. Okay. So go ahead and make
So Aijutsu?
another EI Jutsu roll to see if you can get the edge. Wow, you rolled really good. I feel so bad that I rolled 3 10s.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
No. No. I actually looked down and I got 3 10s, a 9 and a 3 on my roll. She keeps.
I hate you.
She keeps 2. So unless.
Okay.
No, yeah. I got a 5 and a 7, so I got 32 total. So you immediately kind of see that you are outgunned. And so you're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take a swing, and as your hand grabs your bokken and swings out from your belt like you were taught at the Muramoto Academy, there's a moment where before this wooden replica of a sword has broken your belt line, as you're pulling out in this beautiful, almost perfect textbook arc of a swing, that you feel the tap of her wooden bokken come down hard on your shoulder. And the judge rings the gong right as your sword kind of swings outward, and just do you want to try to catch it before it hits her? Or do you want to continue to let the swing go?
I want to catch it.
Okay. Go ahead and make a trained Kenjutsu roll.
Kenjutsu.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So sure enough, as you feel the impact and you realize that you're still on adrenaline and firing forward, and that your arc is coming up, you manage to stop the sword just an inch away from this girl's rib cage. And she looks down at your control, and she looks over into your face, and she's just like, I thank you for your control, Minamoto-san. I did not think you could stop.
You're welcome!
Such a strike. I hope to bring you great honor in my victory. And she leans in close. And she's just
whatever.
Like, because somebody has to beat that little shit. But she bows low, and
I bow too.
Yeah.
But damn, that hurt.
Yeah. But you see that as you and it did kind of, you felt this but you also felt like a bit of control in her hit. Like it wasn't something that felt like it was gonna break your shoulder blade or your clavicle or anything like that, but it did hit like the center of where the neck and the shoulder kind of connect. And you're pretty sure that if that had been like a real sword, she would have killed you outright. But as you are walking over to the stands, you see that Nana is kind of like patting the seat next to her and just kind of like dusting it off, making sure that there's nothing like dead leaves or anything on the seat, and she kind of like smiles.
I'm gonna go sit next to Nana.
Mm-hmm. Inosuke moves over and sits on the opposite side of you. And he just looks over at you. He's like, "It took great control to stop a felling tree."
I don't need any sage advice right now.
Very well.
I'll put, yeah.
And he smiles and he reaches behind him and he pulls out a small bento box, and he hands you a little triangular rice cake.
Thank you.
Yep. There are two things that people will always agree to. One is advice, the other is food. If you will not have one, you will always have the other. And then you see him kind of...
I don't hear you. I'm just eating.
Yeah,
Thank you.
He takes a small kind of like clay thermos, serves himself some tea in a little cup, and he just kind of sips it quietly next to you. But Nana is just like, I thought you were gonna win.
It's okay. Can I break my onigiri in half and give her half?
Yeah.
Okay, doing it.
She is elated. Her eyes grow 3 times wider. It is a typical weeaboo moment of just like, for me. And she eats it with reverence. But sure enough, it comes down to the 2 Miromotos, the Hashigoro, the asshat, and Kohoji, the girl who bested you. And you see them kind of standing there for a long moment. It is eerie how long they're just standing, kind of sizing each other up. There's barely any movement on either part, and the second that one of them does kind of shift because of the wind, the other one instinctively shifts to counter. They are clearly students who have trained for dueling.
Whoa.
And there's a very definitive moment where Hashigoro just kind of shoots forward with his bokken simultaneously kind of lashing out, almost in the same arc that you used. You know, that midsection kind of kill for the stomach, and
stealing my moves.
And without hesitation or impetus, there is just the resounding, echoing clack of wood on wood. But then you see that his blade has been deflected, and she has come down on the opposite side that she came down on you. But same thing, neck, shoulder, kind of meeting point. And as the clack kind of resounds and his sword drops to the ground, you hear him kind of cry out in pain as he holds his left breast with his right hand, and he kind of collapses, and you notice that his left hand is just kind of limp at his side. And they declare Kohoji the winner of the duel.
I want to yell at her and say, "Thank you!" Ah!
But sure enough, they declare her the winner. And because she has enough points, having come in 4th in the race, and having collected enough kind of 2nd place and 3rd place victories throughout the rest of the days, that she uses this to propel her to 1st place. And so she knocks him out of the prize of having this dinner with the clan champion.
Hell yeah!
And she kind of comes over really cool and collected, and she sits down next to Inosuke, and he offers her a little rice cake. And with a little hesitation, she takes it and she bows to the three of you. And she just kind of leans in and she's like, I'm really glad I won. He's an asshole.
Me too. He is an asshat.
And you see
Why are we whispering?
Nana,
is this something I missed?
Nana kind of like leans over and she's also like, yeah, I don't like him either.
I don't think anyone likes him. Inosuke.
He takes a sip of his tea, and he kind of looks over at him as he's being treated for his wound, and he looks back at the three of you. He's just like, not every flower that blooms should be viewed upon with the same grace.
Okay, but is he an asshat? Yes or no?
I seem to have answered your question already, Mirumoto-san. Tamori-san.
I didn't.
And you see him offer you another rice cake.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah. When in doubt. And he puts the bento box away. And that evening, right before Kohoji is set to have dinner with her family and this Dragon Clan champion, they present each of you your swords, and they tell you that you are now adults and that you are beholden to the emperor, the shogun, the daimyo of the clan, excuse me, the daimyo of the clan, and the daimyo of your family, in that order from greatness to least, and whatever superior officer you have. And then
I take my sword respectfully.
Yeah, swords.
I just do a little this, and then I put it back down.
Just a little bit, just the tiniest bit of disrespect, and then I put it back down. But sure enough, they
just so little,
just tiniest bit, just for the ancestors so they can see it, and then I bring it back down. But then they hand each of you a rolled up scroll, and you notice that the ones that they hand off to everyone else, they have a typical kind of generic Dragon Clan mon, the little symbol for the clan. Yours, however, you notice has the emerald seal, and when you open it, it is an order from the Emerald Champion, telling you that you are being assigned to protect a piece of land, a parcel of land far to the southeast from your home, at the request of your father, as he believes that this will be something that will build character and help you to understand your place in the world.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. And as you see where you're being sent, you realize that you are going to be in a contested area, and that the assignment has no end date. And so this proves to you that this is probably a permanent transition for you. And unless you do something great, it's probably going to be where you die. And it is everything that you do not want out of this life.
I do not like this little piece of paper.
Yeah. But passage has been prepared for you, and you are going to leave
by horse?
By carriage. But they will be drawn by horse or horses.
Fine.
Yes. But the memory washes away as the fear of horses brings you back to the modern day where you are now, this adult who has been living in this land for, what do we say, 2 years since your Genpuku ceremony?
Mm-hmm.
So you've been here. You've been here for 2 years, and the sound of horses is what has drawn you back into reality, and you can hear the collected assembly of this Imperial family member and his betrothed coming to what was an ordinary quiet village where you were relegated to living out the rest of your life, and what you imagine is going to be the quietest death any samurai has ever had. And there is this tiny spark of hope that something is going to come following this wedding ceremony. And this is where we'll finish our session for today. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in and meeting our newest member of the cast, Tamori Mori, played by my wonderful friend Frey. You can catch us every Wednesday. We'll be introducing our third and final cast member next Wednesday. This Friday, you can catch us with Star Wars Out in the Dark. And Mondays, you can catch us with our Vampire the Masquerade game, which is set in Salem, Oregon in 1984. Otherwise, please be safe, wear your masks, keep your distance, wash your hands, and please try to keep everyone safe and sound in your immediate surroundings. And also, if you are finding it difficult in these times because they are trying, Texas is suffering. There is unprecedented cold, and with cold comes depression. And if you need a hand, please do not be afraid to reach out to friends and family members. And if you can't reach out to any friends or family members, please seek professional help. And just know that if any of us are available in chat, that we can try to kind of chat with you during. It's a little bit difficult during, but afterwards we can chat with you if you need it. We're not professionals, but please, we do urge you to seek professional help if you need it. So please, again, stay safe. Wash your hands, put your masks on for Christ's sakes, and we will see you when we see you.